on that chasing pair to what is the second pack when it's one athlete, but this is 𝐏𝐿 on her own, who's labouring up this slope. And this must be really difficult, Mara, this stage for 𝐏𝐿 to see maybe the medals heading off into the distance.
Yeah, the last split, Tim, was 3:28, which is the second slowest of the entire race. So I think that possibly in Korea having a moment ago, just saying, what are we going to do? We can't jog along like this. So Korea now maybe didn't want to take it on, but she really has no choice. And the Ethiopian's happy to let her do the work.
Well, 𝐿𝐿-𝐏𝐿 Korea on her own then, up against the two Ethiopians, and single file because she's come down off that bridge over I-5, striding out strongly, and maybe here has decided, right, that's it, I've had enough of this. If I'm going to be in front, I'm going to make you work to stay with me. I'm not just going to jog along like a pacemaker and you can slipstream behind me. And that acceleration as they go towards that drink station seems to have had an effect. One of the Ethiopians dropping back there, and that is not just a gap because of drink station. That is a 15-metre gap, maybe more. 𝐏𝐿, and it's 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 who is back in third place. Now side by side, but one big, yawning 14-kilometre lap stretches out in front of these athletes. They'll come past us very soon here on the course, and you can see the number of cyclists out there, and Korea really testing 𝐏𝐿 here. 𝐏𝐿, a 2:18 athlete, Korea, a 2:19 athlete, almost inseparable on paper.
And Tim, I think we caught a glimpse there of 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 holding her side. Just wondering if she's got a stitch. She's now 4 seconds behind the leaders.
Well, there is the situation at 27 kilometres. Korea 7 seconds back behind 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮, and then 34 seconds back is 𝐿𝐿, but that's behind the leaders, so they are 23 seconds down on 𝐏𝐿, and if 𝐏𝐿 is in a little bit of trouble, and 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮, maybe 𝐿𝐿 will get a sniff at a medal. What colour medal? We don't know. There's a long way to go yet. We mustn't write off anybody in this top half dozen.
Now, Tim, the last split I got 3:01, believe it or not.
Wow. That's the quickest of the race.
Yes, it is. We had a 3:05 at 19k, so you can see the damage Korea has injected with that surge. Meanwhile, Sarah Hall and Jess Piasecki are some 80 seconds or so behind the leaders. But the last time we checked, they were going slightly faster than the second group with 𝐿𝐿.
Well, Korea here has no idea what 𝐏𝐿 is thinking or what 𝐏𝐿 feels like. She has got to just trust her own judgment here. A little glance over her shoulder to see if she's still there. 𝐏𝐿 tucked in her slipstream. Keeps Korea guessing. Don't give her any information. Don't let her see your body language. That's pretty smart. When she glances over there, I don't know if she's trying to have a look round to see what damage this surge has done. Of course, the downhill off I-5 explains that 3:01 split to some extent. But I don't know if she was looking back to see where third place is, or if she wants to try and get a look at 𝐏𝐿. But I think maybe she just needs to keep the pressure on him, Mara. Wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, I mean, we're still a fairly long way from home. We're only at 28k. They've still got a whole lap to go. They will hear the bell as they come through the finish. So approaching the finish right now.
One lap to go then. Kenyan flags being held aloft. Eritrean flags around us as well as the leading pair. Korea of Kenya, 𝐿𝐿 Korea comes through with 𝐿𝐿 of Ethiopia on her heels, hanging onto her coattails, or is she biding her time? 1 lap to go. They go through now. 14 kilometres to run. All to play for. It's wonderfully poised. And the third place are going through. 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮𝐦 of Ethiopia, 6 seconds back. She's not finished yet. 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮𝐦, a further 6 seconds behind her in 4th place. 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐻 and 𝐻𝐿 locked together, the Israeli and Eritrean, on 1:32.28. They haven't yet gone through the line. You'll hear the bell probably coming through our mics. That's how close we are to the finish line. But they are, well, what, some 35 seconds back behind 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮, that pair. Here they come. You can't help but get a little surge of adrenaline as you pass through big crowds like this. But this is going to be a tough circuit for the chasers, Mara. You've got to assume that they're all almost pretty much redlining.
Yeah, this stage of the race, and especially those who set off in the lead group with those up and down splits, 3:12 the last split for the leaders, 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 and 𝐏𝐌. And meanwhile, we're hearing that Sarah Hall has dropped Piasecki. 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐻 and 𝐻𝐿 were in 5th and 6th. So,
well, 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 getting a gel into her there. The sugars and salts absolutely critical. Sarah Hall raising the game, telling the crowd to keep on cheering loudly, working hard here. Now this could be one of those Sarah Hall charges. She's renowned for finishing strongly. She's tough as nails, is Sarah Hall. Been around for a long, long time. Great track racer in her time. She is 39 years old now. She says her preparation has gone as well as it could possibly have gone in recent months. And Sarah Hall, with the great half marathon in Houston kicking off her 2022 season, and then a 2:22 for 8th place in Tokyo, a 70-minute run in the New York half marathon, and more recently a really strong road 10K in New York. Has raced quite a lot this year and raced really well, and she's feeling good by the looks of things.
yeah, great running by Sarah Hall in 8th place, 6 seconds ahead of Jess Piasecki in 9th, Keira D'Amato in 10th, a further 19 seconds back, followed by Emma Bates.
And 𝐏𝐌 at 29k, 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 just 4 seconds behind her, so this is a classic battle between Ethiopia and Kenya. There's always been a little bit of needle between those two nations for supremacy on the roads and indeed at most track distances as well. The Ethiopians making inroads into the Kenyan dominance of the steeplechase these days. But Yashani in 3rd place. There's a little glance over her shoulder there. She knows she's a long way down on the leaders, 19 seconds behind that leading pair. They're able to work together. That's a slight advantage for them. She's still moving pretty well, Mara.
Yeah, she looks okay. She just needs to keep it together. You're into damage limitation mode at this stage, but she only had 4 seconds on 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 through 29k. So can 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 rally? And 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐻 some 30-odd seconds back.
𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮, 𝐏𝐌 locked together. 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 and 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 not much between them, just 4 seconds. Then 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐻 and 𝐻𝐿. It's a race of pairings at the moment. There's 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 closing on 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮. This the battle, perhaps, for the bronze medal, but don't write off 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐻 and 𝐻𝐿 just yet. They're in 5th and 6th. Battle for the minor places, with plenty of Americans going for a place in the top 10. That's great for the spectators along the course, many of whom maybe will have been watching this in their homes on TV and then thinking, well, heck, I can head out there and watch them go by in the flesh. Be part of a World Championships. 𝐾𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮 not wasting any space, almost banging into the advertising hoardings there on the side of the course. Here's the athletes in 5th and 6th, 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐻 and 𝐻𝐿. They will be getting information from their sidelines, Mara, and with 14k to go. What's 14k? It's
8 miles.
Yeah, 8 miles.
Like that.
So that is a long way.
Yep, and they're some 55 seconds behind the leaders, 30-odd seconds behind 𝐏𝐿, but they're together and they can help each other, which does make a difference. They've got a gap of about nearly a minute back to 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐧𝐮𝐦 in 7th. And these two look like they've slowed ever so slightly. We'll bring you the next split. The last one was 3:08. So these two, brilliant running so far. 𝐏𝐵 just did her debut last September in Berlin, relative newcomer to the marathon, but an astonishing 2:20.09 on her debut, followed up with a 2:18.18 in Tokyo in March. Very fast PB for the half marathon, 65.36, so she's got speed.
𝐏𝐿 then, being chased down by Sarah Hall. Piasecki in the background, trying to be dragged along by Hall in this acceleration from the American. Subtle, slow acceleration, but she keeps working at it to Sarah Hall. She's not the smoothest looking of runners. The arms are flailing a little bit, Sarah Hall, but she covers the ground really well. She's got good cadence, she's got good natural speed. Her pedigree as a track runner, many pundits say irrelevant in marathons, but actually it can certainly help in the latter stages when you have those gears, psychologically as much as physically. But the 30k, Korea and 𝐏𝐵 have 27 seconds. That's a big, big gap. I'm sure, barring disaster, that the gold medal is going to go to one of these two.
So 3:15 for the last split for the leaders, Tim, through 30k in 1:38.08, and the last 5k split for them was 16:04, the fastest of the race so far.
Yeah, that's why the gaps have opened up, isn't it?
Yep, they've got a 27-second lead over 𝐏𝐿 in 3rd place. 𝐏𝐿 and 𝐏𝐥𝐚 just about together at 30k, and they have a 35-second lead over Salpeter and Weldu.
You can hear the bell going off in the background as more athletes come through, the little packs of athletes coming through, many minutes behind this leading pair here at the finish line. But Korea still seems to me the most up for it. 𝐏𝐵, is she hanging on, or is she thinking, I'm feeling fine, you just keep throwing at me everything you can and I can take it and I'll bide my time. It is a game of patience, distance running. Just have to get your head down and know that you're hurting somebody. Ooh. And is that...
Now, that is Rose Harvey, I think. Oh, yes, Rose Harvey, dear, dear. Now, has she fallen?
Well, she can't stand, so I think she's in a bad way. I think that's depletion.
Oh, dear. So, sad finish to this World Championship Marathon for the Brit Rose Harvey. But meanwhile, up at the front, Korea still doing the work, closely followed by 𝐏𝐵. It's the Paris champion up against the Berlin champion.
Korea has just got to trust herself.